Welcome back to another episode of Top Disc. We're going to be taking on the Prodigy A2. I'm going to be honest. I've slept on Prodigy. There's been a lot of hate for Prodigy out there. But whenever I discovered how good the PA3s are, I had to ask myself, am I biased? How good are the A2s? I kind of was like messing around with different discs. Hayden, one of my good friends, actually hopped on the team Prodigy. He basically, after we were playing a one round of Heritage and we were going to Bill Allen to play, he was like, hey, you should try this out next round. I tried it and instantly fell in love with the A2. Super flat, super aggressive wing. I got my zone, and you can kind of see the difference right there. A little bit more aggressive, not quite a justice, but getting there. No beat on the bottom. And I think it actually has a unique spot in my bag. This is currently in the bag, so I'm excited to actually throw this and show you why I love throwing this disc so much, because it has such a unique flight, super overstable. I think this 400 plastic is actually the perfect plastic for the A2. So let's get into this review. Flight numbers are 4204, okay? So that means that this disc, it's like a mid-range, 2 on the glide. That is not a lot of glide. It's not going to stay up in the air, but that's exactly why I need this disc. I need to throw this hard, get it skipping, or just flex it through and around something. So this is very much a utility disc. Let's do it. 9 holes with one of my favorite discs. Let's see how this rates. I think we might be pushing distance here on where I can get the A2, so we're gonna have to flex this one in. I normally like throwing this maybe 240 and in. So this is 260, it's a little uphill, so we're gonna have to get on this one. Luckily, I had just filmed 4 other discs. Forehand was warmed up. May as well take that Thought Space Omen out of the bag if I could throw this here. Definitely backhand. See if we can spike it in. Do it. Oh, just in front. Bonus ace run before I finish this review. Would be a pretty cool angle to get an ace.
Nope.
This is gonna have to be a flex shot if there's ever a flex shot with the A2. Oh, it's straight in the sun. I don't even know where it is. All right, came into that cedar tree on the left.
24 hours later.
It was getting a little too dark yesterday, so we're out here. Lunchtime, same weather. I always try to record as many of these as I can whenever we have a nice and not really windy day. So this one, I mean, this is perfectly set up. Downhill, 250 feet with the A2. Just gonna flex it around the bush. The bush is a little bit in the way. As long as you beat the bush, you usually have a good look at a birdie. Yeah, it should be in a good spot. That was parked. I would not normally pull the A2 out if I'm going like 290 into a headwind. I mean, I guess I could, but we're gonna leave this up high, see if I can miss the trees kind of on the right side and just crash in towards the pin. That's the game plan. See if we can execute now. Nope, we missed our line. But that shows you how stable that disc is. That headwind, 10 mile an hour, did nothing to it. Went early left here. That is absolutely on me. It is not the disc's fault. This tree always stops you from getting a run, so let's just try to forehand this in. Oh, or hit the cart. We do have a 10 mile an hour headwind. You can throw the backhand, which just brings a lot into play with the tunnel. There is though a forehand play up there. I'm just gonna see if I can flex it in there. Oh, that wind. What are you gonna do with that disc? All right. Yeah, with this A2, I definitely let the wind carry the flight plate. That is always something to think about is, what's the wind gonna do if it catches the underside of the disc? I always try to think about that whenever I'm getting ready to tee off. So, circles edge putt from down here, low chance we make this. That's okay. We are at ace run territory. I'm gonna try to get it with a forehand here. That could do it. Oh, wasn't far enough. What was I thinking? A2 just landed short here with this disc. I think this is not going to be a beginner friendly approach disc. Definitely go with the zone, because it will dump and it will get to the ground fast, which is why I love it. This is kind of tricky. This does not line up for this disc at all. The only play I have here is just a backhand stall shot. Well, let's see if we can execute this. Nope. I wanted to fight out of that so fast. This was really only about a 190 foot shot, and that just shows you how overstable this A2 is. Again, normally I'm not going to be throwing that on a hole like this where you have to slot it in and get it to finish there. But it's fine. I mean, this course does make me throw different shots with all these different layouts of the holes, so you can see it a number of different ways, and it's not always going to work out. This is not the disc for this hole. I've actually skip aced this short pin before, so let's see if we can get that skip ace with the A2. It's pretty much a perfect shot shape for this disc. Now pop up. Yeah, we hit the grass. If you hit the concrete, you get that super skip. We settled, still pretty close to the pin here. Didn't get the skip I was looking for. Now, the 400 plastic that this is in, this is probably the best plastic for the A2. I do have a soft as well, and it's like a dead straight disc. But I've tested out a lot of the plastics with Prodigy, and this one is the flattest, which if normally if you're gonna be doing forehands, you want flat, you don't want a lot of dome underneath the disc. And it's truly just like that, a little bit overstable version of a zone. It's got a very similar wing, it's just cut in a little bit more aggressively that lets it get a lot of those skips. Now I will say, like, it is pretty gummy, right? So from a plastic perspective, it's not the stiffest thing in the world, but it actually is nice because it absorbs some of those ground impacts and it's not gonna just skip like forever. So this is in the bag for a reason, but I do think I have to put a zone back in the bag because it's so dumpy and so stable that if I've got a tailwind, I'll probably throw a zone instead. If I have a headwind, I'll probably throw the A2. So both of them can be in your bag. Approach discs are my favorite category of disc golf discs, like by a mile. I will have a Berg, I'll have the range, the A2, the tempo, and the zone, because all of these give me different shots. And that's something I love about disc golf, is that you could probably throw all five and still get within circle one, but one of those shots, two of those shots are just gonna get you a lot closer, and it's gonna take some of the risk out of the play. The way that I play disc golf is I wanna eliminate the big mistake on every hole. And I ask myself, what is the easiest way to birdie a hole? For this one, it's a skip shot with an A2. That's what I would throw all day long. And I don't think I can say enough positive things about the 400 A2. It's unlocked a new shot within my game, and it's probably one of my favorite discs I've ever picked up. I hate green discs, by the way. Like, my channel's called Cotton Candy Disc Golf. Everything I have in my bag is cotton candy, but it's such a good disc that it is green, and I still bagged it. And I think that if you know me, it actually says a lot, okay? If you're viewing at home, you may not think this is a big deal, but it is. So honestly, I wasn't even gonna give my review right here, but we kind of just did. And the rating on this is I'm gonna give this a 9 point. I'm gonna give 9 point. I gotta figure out if I want to put this above, equal, or below the Pyro. I think it's equal. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. It's gonna tie the top slot. With the Pyro, it's never coming out of the bag. You guys should definitely pick one of these up if you see it in the used bin, try it out, or go to Prodigy and check it out. Prodigy doesn't get the most love out there in the disc golf scene. And it kept me away from Prodigy for a long time, if I'm being honest. So I started putting with PA3s and realized, oh my God, those are the best putters I've ever had. And then I started adding an A2, and it's just such a good mold. So if you're a lower arm speed player, I would probably go with the A3 or A5. If you do play an open like I do, then I would definitely try out an A2 because it's a pretty sick mold.